All right, so my apologies. My last video, I kind of got off track when I was talking about Article 11 and Article 4 when it talks about slavery and how under the human rights, slavery is illegal, it's unconstitutional. In the amendments 1 through 10 has everything to do with everything. All of the amendments after that are kind of suspect, including Amendment 13, Section 1. Neither slavery nor involuntary solitude, except as a punishment for a crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within the United States or any place subject to their jurisdiction. I'll just read number 2 as well. Section 2, Congress shall have power to enforce this article by appropriate legislation. This is why you don't want to be under their jurisdiction. Subject matter jurisdiction will turn you into a slave when you don't know and understand how to invoke and refuse to waive your human rights. The contract that they have is the Constitution, which is guarantee that they will protect your human rights. But if you are found incompetent in law because you don't know your human rights, because you don't honor your mother and thy father by proclaiming your nationality as on this land as Moorish American, American Moor, you will be held under Amendment 13 because you will be seen as incompetent in law as a minority. That's what minority means. You're incompetent in law. And if you weren't incompetent in law, you wouldn't call yourself black, colored, Negro, or African American, because we're Moorish American. And as long as you continue to proclaim being black and all that other good stuff, you will be treated like an animal. And it is very unfortunate. And the presumption in this system is that every olive hue that looks like me and darker, or a little lighter, is incompetent in law. We don't know who we are. We don't know where we come from. We think we all think that our ancestors were brought over here on some boats. Hundreds of thousands were brought over here on boats. When you read things about the conditions of being on those boats, and just thinking about the mindset back then, how many of those people you think they were nursing back to health to get them over here? If you survive, you survive. If you didn't survive, you ended up in the ocean as fish food. Feces, defecating on one another, other secretions, vomiting, urinating on one another. Very poor source of any kind of nutrition and water, dirty water. Me personally, just using the 70-year-old's common sense, I don't see how it's possible for hundreds of thousands of people to survive the trip over here. Not to mention the ones that decided to jump ship because they didn't want to be slave. And then to go into the word slave, you're talking about Slovenian. They couldn't even be slaves. They had to be kidnapped and captured and imprisoned when they got here to this land on things called plantations. Instead of prisons, they were just called plantations. And that's why they couldn't wait to put this amendment in here, the 13th Amendment. And this is why disproportionately people who are of olive skin that look like us, darker and whatnot, are disproportionately placed into those plantations and forced into involuntary servitude. Article 12. No one shall be subjected to arbitrary interference with his privacy, family, home, or correspondence, nor to attacks upon his honor and reputation. Everyone has the right to the protection of the law against such interference or attacks. I can post whatever I want to post on social media, and you can't tell me what I can and cannot do. But what do they do all the time? They take people's videos down because they start putting too much truth out there. Whether you're talking truth and it's offensive to what the status quo is, it can be taken down. You can't come into my home and tell me that you're going to take my children from me. It's a violation of Article 12. But if you don't know that, they can come into your home and take your children from you. Force your children and you to vaccinate your children. That's an Article 12 violation of the human rights. Constitution and the people that swear that oath swear to hold up the Constitution, which protects your human rights. When you don't know them, you're incompetent in law. And they can treat you like an animal, like property. And you have no rights when you get treated like property. If you're considered property in law incompetent, if you're incompetent, you're property in law. If you're incompetent about law, if you don't know the law, you're incompetent in law. And now you will be held as property. Love y'all. Stay well, be well, live well. All right.